Hello everyone and welcome back. HeirofCarthage here, and I am in Total War Warhammer 3. And we're going to continue a little bit of action here in the Belegar Ironhammer Old World modded campaign. So the Old World, of course, being the map. In case anybody is keeping an eye on it, and I don't know how many people are, I know I am. Homeworld 3 is not far from launch, which is an upcoming space simulation kind of strategy game. I played the old Homeworld games. They actually have footage of that on my channel. And I am going to be covering them. I do have access to the demo. Everybody does. It's up on Steam. I'm learning how to play the demo, and then I'm going to try and cover it for you. So I should have some more time to play it tomorrow. Hopefully I can get you all a video out tomorrow evening. So keep an eye out for that. It is something I am excited to cover on the channel. But, you know, as with any new game, I think I sometimes take for granted. Like, even though I'm always telling you all, like, oh, I'm not very good at Total War because I don't play it that much, and I don't play it like a lot compared to the folks who are making videos, you know, day in and day out and hosting tournaments and all that kind of stuff. But I have ultimately played a lot of Total War. Its games are somewhat familiar to me, and albeit I'm not perfect at it, I can navigate my way around it pretty well. And that's not the case, obviously, with Homeworld, because I haven't played a ton of it recently, and then the newer game's going to have some new features and stuff, though when I did get to play it, at least for a moment, it was fairly familiar, have to admit. So we're going to declare war on these guys, but we're not going to do it that way. We are going to join through allies. So we're going to go to these dwarves here, and we're going to join war against, and we are going to join their war. We're going to offer declare against the followers of Nagash. And that, of course, makes these dwarves quite happy. I'm going to steal their money at the opportunity. I don't really know why. I don't really need their money, but just because I can. So we joined the war against the Vile Tomb Kings, led by Arkhan. And that's really quite brilliant. We can't attack their settlement because it's on the other side of a river. How stupid. Alright, well, we'll have to deal with that on the next turn. Sorry, that's irritating and somewhat annoying. Let's attack the Isle of Zul here. I don't know what the purpose of me like getting right next to the enemy settlement was, and we can't even attack it. And our movement points are like nearly full, but we can't attack it. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do there to figure that one out. We'll see what we can do in the next turn. This is not going to really be worth our time, but we're going to take their settlement here. Some of these are not going to be perfectly suitable climates. I have been waiting to get a hold of that pottery for quite some time. And so I'm actually pretty excited to get a hold of it. That pottery I can use quite badly in the forges. So I'm going to save up some more of this oath gold and start forging out some of those tankards that I need as soon as I get a hold of that pottery that are going to help me do some more healing. There's no more movement for me to make elsewhere in my armies except for here, but I don't really wish to move there at the moment. We do have quite a bit of cash that we can spend on our settlements, and I'm going to do so. Let's get some of these buildings upgraded. Alright, so that's all we can do there. Blood River Valley. We can upgrade some of our defenses there. The Crooked Mountains. We can upgrade defenses and trade goods. And that should just about do it for this turn. It says we have an outpost available, but I don't know if I'm worried about an outpost at the moment. We're not really dying for said outpost. Let's see what Arkhan does. He's got a couple of large forces out in front of us. We'll see whether he moves into an effective defensive posture, whether he lays the hammer on us and then counterattacks. I don't know yet. He has moved a war cat up in front of me there. Now they want me to join the battle against the Fecundites. Not really sure where the Fecundites are at right now, and I'm not sure that that's of interest to me, so I'm not going to join that war at the moment. But maybe soon, Balthasar. I sure do hate the Fecundites. In fact, I hate all things Nurgle. both in real life and in the Warhammer universe. In the Warhammer universe, for no particular reason other than the fact that Nurgle is kind of gross, and in real life because I get absolutely livid whenever I end up sick, and then I end up being miserable and stuck in the house for a week or two. So yeah, I'm not a fan either way. So sorry, Nurgle. That corruption hasn't worked on me yet. In fact, I was just sick. I'd had enough of that Nurgle corruption. Let's attack the Warcat here. This is a pretty potent army. There's a number of Tomb Guard here. There's Hex Wraiths, Casket. So yeah, it's a pretty serious army. It's not insane, but it's going to be potent. We will outrange it. There's a couple of more armies beyond it, so we're going to have to be careful if we do get beat up, not to leave ourselves exposed to the angry reinforcements that Arkhan is no doubt going to send our direction. So we'll want to win this rather convincingly. The best way that we can do that here is to use our cannon to swiftly destroy the Casket of Souls. The Casket is dangerous. It's going to be pretty decent against artillery, depending on its accuracy level. And with the AI, that accuracy tends to be high, so it does concern me. But you never know. Sometimes they're not overly accurate, like especially whenever I'm using the Casket. Sometimes it doesn't hit quite as well as what I would like. Let's take a look for said Casket. Here it is, sitting behind the Tomb King. We don't really want to start within range of any of their other units. This Casket has a range of 440. My cannon has a range of 440. I can pound at it from long range, or I could see whether I can open up just inside a range for the organ gun as well, and I think I'm going to do that.
Ready! For the ancestor gods!
I'm gonna go ahead and put my crossbows right up here. I'm gonna do something like this.
War of vengeance!
I mean, ideally, I shouldn't be deploying right here where the enemy can hit me from the outset with their artillery. But if I put both of my artillery pieces within range, it should be a good thing for me ultimately. Okay, so I've got all three artillery pieces lined up and ready to shoot. They very well are going to be summoning some units as the battle unfolds, so I need to leave my Slayers in a position to defend my artillery piece. I need to move up here. Did I leave a unit way back? I did. That was quite stupid of me. And I left my leadership back here. Okay, Air might want to pay attention. Just a suggestion. Not that anybody has to take that suggestion. Okay. Alright, so I've got my Slayers in position to defend. The AI bum rushed my crossbows. I'm not entirely surprised. I've got my flame cannon trying to shoot some of their approaching infantry, and the Warcat is just going, I mean, just full Leroy Jenkins here. Came charging straight into me. I'm gonna back up with some of my units just a hair. And I'm gonna come in here. Yeah, we are getting hit hard. I'm gonna swing a unit out. And I'm gonna tuck in here a little bit and get into a defensive stance. Okay, my artillery is firing. I'm going to switch targets. I am trying. Okay, we did get a hold of some of the key units here. Their cat needs to be slowed down and stopped. They've got units come in, and I can't commit these Slayers to the fight right now because I have to hold reinforcements.
Vengeance!
Alright, we've just about killed the Tomb King. He's well armored, so it was
Shoot that
kind of a
one
tough kill. And then I've got some units going down over here. Let's run and give them some help. Alright, so the enemy Tomb King's down. I've got some Longbeard great weapons that are getting absolutely slaughtered over here, and I'm not really quite sure how that happened because the enemies we're up against over here are not amazing. I mean, you do get hurt by these skeleton chariots on the charges, but I don't expect those units to be entirely too gruesome here. Okay, I've got my artillery fire spreading out. And let's get our Thane in here. So I got a lot more fight out of the Tomb Kings here than I was hoping for. And my Slayers are still in a position to keep that artillery covered. Other skeleton chariots going down, and then I'm going to target this Tomb Scorpion. I'm a little concerned. This flank's falling apart to the Hex Wraiths. May not have a choice but to bring some Slayers up that way, and I'll just have to leave a single Slayer back in a guarding position. Okay, we've got the Tomb Scorpion under fire. These Tomb King units have held out amazingly well considering the withering barrage of artillery that they've been under. And my infantry here was not anything to slough off. I mean, this Hex Wraith just absolutely buried that unit of Longbeards. I'm both surprised and not surprised. Not surprised in the sense that Hex Wraiths are good against armor, but surprised that they could bury an entire unit of Longbeards. That seems a little far-fetched. And perhaps it was the combination with that chariot unit that did it. But regardless, we have turned the tide on this one and won the battle. It was just a painful victory. And there are two more full armies of Tomb Kings out there, so we've learned a couple of valuable lessons here, which is that the Tomb Kings were beaten back pretty hard by my ranged units, but did rather impressively in melee with me, which is not what I had hoped to see. Tomb Guard are not good at armor piercing, and I had heavy armor. And I think, though, that it wasn't so much the Tomb Guard here that did well. Like, if you look at their kills, nothing super impressive. It was really the charges of those chariots and the Hex Wraiths that managed to get some purchase against some of my units, I believe. So we'll have to do a better job of limiting the mobility of those units the next time we fight. I'm going to go ahead and just back up all the way into the settlement, see if we can lure the Tomb Kings out closer to us while we go ahead and replenish back here. I think, honestly, we need to just merge these two units. And then just do some... Actually, I shouldn't have done that because now I can't do any global recruitment here on this turn-in, so that was kind of stupid. I could grab another Slayer, but let's wait. Let's wait. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what kind of skill points that I can put on here. We should finish Lightning Strike. That could be rather important. And then at that point, I'm going to go ahead and start dumping some points into Axe Lord. And let's go over here to this Runesmith. Finished Rune of Slowness. Let's do Damping. Let's fire up Wrath and Ruin a little better. And then we've got our Thane here. Let's put a point into Training and then some more into Hard to Hit. And then we've got another character here. I don't think we need it in Fire and Fury. I think we do need it here. Thunder, Dolly Firepower, Missile Strength for Quarrelers, Thunders, Rangers. Probably that. We got Morgrim's Favored. Yeah, okay, so that's good stuff. And let's see, Forge Fire. Let's do the Rune of Negation. Scarred Veteran. Okay, so we've dealt with some of our skill points. We do have access to pottery now, and if I go into the forge, we have long been held from making this Oh, where did it go? It's the iron. No, I was thinking is this one. It takes pottery, so I know it's going to be one of those. Old Guard's Tankard is the one that we could forge, so it's going to be under enchanted items. And it's this one with the liquid fortification, so it's the Iron Warden's Tankard. And it does cost 200 oath gold. I can make 4 of them. And I intend to make them. And we're going to start using them on these armies, characters that are up close to the front lines against Arkhan. Because that's where we're going to get the biggest bang for the buck out of them. And since they take 200 oath gold, it's not something that we're going to be able to do entirely all at once, but there we go. We forged up 4 of them. So we put that oath gold to use, and then I'm going to go on to our characters here. In fact, it looks like I don't even have any Old Guard tankards left over for this particular character, but I can go ahead and maybe just drop this talisman on him for now. And then as far as the enchanted item goes, I can get the Iron Warden's Tankard here and place that. We need to get some character runes as well, but we're going to have to strike those. We do have some character runes, like here's one with a little bit of extra AP damage. Flaming attacks, I guess, and then a rune of impact. I'll go ahead and put a few of those things on there. And then let's check out of here. Let's go put this on the Thane. So if I go to my Thane, I do have this armor of silvered steel. And that was on the Thane. As far as hand weapons go, don't have much, just have this Sword of Might, and then we can go down here and there's a luck stone. And then we'll put an Iron Warden's Tankard there. Let's head over to our other army.
Armed and ready.
A runesmith here. We've got an Old Guard's Tankard on this character, and now we'll put the Iron Warden's Tankard, which means there'll be quite a bit of healing on this particular character. So checkbox that, and then again, I'm going to go to the Thane. Details, and then we just need the Iron Warden's Tankard here. Okay. I don't believe we have a hand weapon available. But there we go. We got those Iron Warden Tankards distributed out and ready to be used by our troops. Well, now we're able to attack. That was strange. Alright, well, I'm going to start putting together some siege equipment, and we're going to continue the siege here. Alright. And then we have movement points here to go up against the vampires. I'm just gonna double team these guys here. And hopefully that's gonna pretty much be the end of the Caravan of Blue Roses. Yep. And if I take a look at our objectives, I know we have to KO the vampires for the ultimate victory here. Yeah, there's still a lot of vampire factions technically, but we've rid ourselves of a fair number of them. And basically that is the ultimate victory at this point, which is just shutting down the vampiric ascension, which we faced. Let's see, Purebeard. Fury Thunder, Room's Favored. Good there, let's start. Full plate armor. Alright, let's get some points. Boy, we've got a bunch of skill points we need to take care of here. Finish up Specialist. Master of the Forge. Deadly Blade. Rune of Slowness.
For the wisdom of Valea.
And let's see here. Let's finish up Lightning Strike. Rune of Slowness. Finish up Triangulation. Okay. So we had a ton of skill points to handle there. We have army that hasn't moved, no big surprise there, and then we're going to have plenty of buildings to be looking at. So I'm going to get started on those. And I'm basically going to be looking to build defenses and income capability. Where's Skull Chasm at? Yeah. Alright. Well, I can finish up that province. That leaves me at... There we go. We are almost done with all the growth we need in this area, and then we could replace that with a building for some income. We are making a tremendous amount of money. Okay, let's end this turn. Which means that we can train up more armies as needed. And you can't ever have enough armies, really. But I'm just not dying for them at the moment, so we'll make do. It looks like an army of reinforcements led by Arkhan with, sorry, 2 armies of reinforcements showed up along with the garrison force here. So it becomes a question of can we, can our army shut down 3 Tomb King's armies? We will have to take care of some Necropolis Knights. We have to take care of Arkhan, who is potentially a very dangerous character. He's got a lot of armor, and he's going to be a potent spellcaster. Looks like he's going to have Spirit Leech. I don't really see a whole lot of his other magic here. Aspect of Red Knight, maybe. Hex Wraiths, Shabti Greatbow. There's some dangerous units here. Definitely some dangerous units here. But we do have a range advantage. I don't know whether we can win or not. We can fight, and if we lose, we'll fall back and try and recover. But I mean, we came here, it's a war, so I intend to fight said war. We're going to need to get into a defensive posture where they can't outflank me and I don't have to worry about flanks. This is an interesting position for us to start in. The reinforcements are coming from behind me, which I guess that means they came from further interior to their territory. This deployment zone over here is not ideal, but so I have a couple of options. Let's look at both. I could deploy back here in this corner, and they did attack me. They'll have to come attack me, and I can kind of defend this corner here. Or I could deploy in the opposite corner. This one's kind of not great because this lump here is going to get in the way of my artillery, so I don't really like that position, although it would put me in a firing position on them a lot sooner. I'm going to be waiting around for a considerable amount of time back here, but this corner does look better for all of my artillery purposes. Okay, so I'm going to get all these units in a defensive stance and begin the battle by moving my cannons back into a protected position at the rear of this formation. And I'm going to put some Slayers kind of down in here. And then my Iron Breakers kind of right here in the middle of this formation. Yeah, something like that ought to work. Okay, we got all of my units moving into position. The AI is already coming towards me, which is not what I expected. They may decide against it ultimately, but it does look like they're approaching me. That's good for me. It's a poor decision on their part, but it's good for me because it'll allow me to kill their units sooner, ideally. I got these chariots kind of approaching from this other flank, so I'm going to reposition my Quarrelers to be in a position to shut down these chariot archers, which have considerable range. Alright, so we're going to pretty quickly and easily put down these skeleton chariots, and hopefully the AI will trickle their reinforcements this direction where I can kill them off one by one. We're going to need to hit Arkhan with a rune of slowing.
Cannon!
He is no doubt going to be shifty. Might go ahead and target him, see if we can score some hits with our cannons from long range and tempt him up here. We did. What a great hit for me. Oh, we hit him again, hard. He's using a potion of healing already, so that's good news for me that he has to use that prior to combat. Boy, anything that steps into range of my crossbows is paying a very dear price at the moment. I'm gonna switch what's going on over here. So Arkhan is still being targeted by my cannons. And as units come into range, I really need an engineer in this army because ammunition's going to be a big limiting factor for us. If we run out of ammo and are unable to replenish it, which we aren't able to replenish it, that could put us in a very bad position. Alright, I've got to target these archers out here. Those archers are going to hit my unshielded units, potentially causing me a great deal of damage. Okay. Arkhan has nearly died to my cannons alone, which is very good news for me. Again, I do not have unlimited ammunition, so we're going to need to use it wisely. Oof, I think we just hit our own guys here. Let's finish off these chariots over there, because those are likely to get good purchase against me on a charge. Arkhan's down. Let's take our cannons and shift our fire to the Tomb King, who's on approach. And I need to get refocused here. There's some skeleton archers approaching me that I would like to use my superior range on. I have to move up rather close to my lines here. Okay, I'm trying to target some skeleton archers at the moment. And I'm trying to bring down the leadership of the Tomb King army. I'm going to turn all of my quarrelers not to fire at will. Okay. Enemy Tomb King is attacking. Those hex wraiths are getting shut down by the magic attacks. Well, I thought I had magic attacks over here. I do not. So they are not getting shut down by any such thing. Those bats are highly annoying. Trying to bring down the Tomb King there. He is under cannon fire at point blank range as well. Fortunately, our infantry is performing rather well. It's protected at the moment. There's another Kimrian War Sphinx on the way. Those bats are not going to do well. I'm going to hold my Slayers in reserve. Though, I may go ahead and commit them, at least commit some of them, into this fight. Gosh, dang, man, that Tomb King just won't be good and die. He's down to his last 300-something hit points. He has just been hammered by cannon fire and has really not been worse the wear for it. I'm going to attack those Necropolis Knights next. Again, ammunition is at an absolute premium here, so I can't necessarily just unload on whatever target I desire. My ammunition has to be used wisely. They are going to be left with artillery to attack me. I'm going to use my cannons to kill some of these Necropolis Knights. They are large and rather easy targets. I say that, it's funny, I don't know if I've hit a single one thus far.
Kill the Oath Splitters!
Go ahead and target down these chariot archers real quick. I don't want them to just sit there and shoot me. This is an interesting situation. We are up against just a huge number of Tomb Kings. We are ferociously beating them down, but we have limited numbers.
Stop! Axes out, lads! Understood, Lord! Slayers! Range far! Range fast! Nothing can stop us!
Okay, this is getting interesting, folks. Yeah, we're getting overwhelmed by numbers at this point. Try and make my efforts most effective. I think we took down the Kimrian War Sphinx. Now I should probably get rid of some of the enemy archers. I thought I had told my units not to fire at will, but they are choosing to fire regardless. I'm gonna move these units a little closer to the lines and see if I can cut down some of these skeleton archers out here. I don't want them to just expend their ammunition endlessly. Okay. There is no leadership left for the Tomb Kings, but their sheer weight of numbers here is really quite terrifying.
I speak my lord's will.
Because my infantry is just getting ground down and defeated at the hands of the extraordinarily numerous Tomb Kings host here. I do not have any Wrath and Ruin to use either. That is unfortunate. Alright, my Bugman's Rangers have spent their ammunition, so they might as well head in and melee.
Let the vengeance begin!
Alright. We've cut through a substantial number of Tomb Kings, but we are not out of this yet.
Nothing can stop us!
As we run out of ammunition, I'm going to engage in melee.
They have wronged us!
I'm gonna need every advantage that I can get here. Oh gosh, they have great bows. I'm gonna target those with my cannons and hope for the best. Gotta get rid of the rest of those. We're most certainly not going to have enough ammunition to totally finish the job here. And I am becoming ever more concerned that we are just going to get ground down by numbers.
Ready! Go! Yes, yes! Quarrelers! Charge!
And I'm gonna save. I've got just a little bit of ammunition left.
Range fast!
I'm using my cannons to pick away at the Ushabti Greatbow that are approaching in the distance. And there's a Screaming Skull catapult off in the distance as well. The Tomb King's numbers are dropping very rapidly. But I don't have infinite numbers myself. My leadership is staying very strong. And then my leaders are healing thanks to those special forge items. Still 800 Tomb Kings here, but their numbers are starting to come down. My numbers are dropping as well. We're down about a third, but the Tomb Kings are down substantially more than that. Oh gosh. That's not good.
Nothing could stop us.
They have a sepulchral stalker out there that just became visible, so I'm gonna... Oh, there's two of them. That's bad. That's very bad for me. I'm gonna move these guys up so I can get into the even closer range. I have very limited ammunition left here. I don't want to just sit here and eat it with those. Oh my gosh, there's 3 sepulchral stalkers. This situation just continues to not be good. I'm gonna discharge my limited bit of ammunition. Boy, an engineer here would have been absolutely critical because I would have had 5 reloads potentially. It does look like we're starting to break the back of the Tomb King's will to fight here.
It is an order! Runes of power!
I do everything I can to kind of power up my units here. My cannons are completely out of ammunition. The allied troop count is down under 300. If we can crumble this infantry, I can at least attempt to lash out and kill these last few units. I'm hoping that their leadership would just fall apart once their numbers start to crumble here. If I go out here and get... Man, I can't sit there and take that. Okay, we crumbled the enemy there. Crumbled the enemy there. Oh yeah, there we go. Holy cow. What a brawl. That was 3,000 Tomb Kings versus our 1,000 dwarves. That is an epic finish if you've ever asked for one, and we needed every last bit of ammunition that we had to scrape together there. Thank goodness we had the Longbeards. The Longbeards did a tremendous job there, all things considered. Really good work on the part of our infantry. Our leadership did extremely well there too, because they were healing, so they were able to tank an absurd amount of damage. And then I think that probably helped the power bar stay flexed in our direction as well. That was a heroic victory indeed. So we're going to take possession of Vitrol, however you say that. So that is a big capture for us. Absolutely critical. These armies are no longer going to be doing anything useful for us down here, and we could go ahead and move them along towards the front.
What brings you before the heir of
Lewin is desirous of a non-aggression pact, which I will agree to. That was a huge battle with the Tomb Kings. Holy cow. I love big battles like that. It's part of the reason why Warhammer is more fun to me than other Total War titles. I just don't get this kind of enjoyment out of the battles outside of Warhammer, and that's a big deal to me. Things. Trying to think the ones that give us the oath gold though. Yeah, we definitely want an armory because I want that oath gold. I like this building that boosts my trade tariffs. We need a little bit of growth here, but we also need defenses. This will work for now. Go ahead and spend my money building this settlement up, and then we need to recruit reinforcements into this army. I'm going to be here for at least a couple of turns replenishing, so kind of considering replacing that Longbeard with a hammer. In fact, it takes a lot longer to recruit, but I am going to go ahead and make that replacement because we're clearly going to need a little more oomph in some of those fights. Our allies should be able to come in and assist us, though, because we just cut a big hole into the forces of Arkhan there, so that ought to leave our allies well positioned to move in here and help take advantage of the power vacuum that we just created in that immediate vicinity.
Belegar Ironhammer.
I believe we have access from...
Praise be to
Yeah, we do. We have military access with Volkmar,
I stand defiant.
which means that I can cut through his territory.
For the wisdom of the lair. By the grudge
Alright, so I am going to do that. I'm going to start moving through their territory. What is our leadership? Things should be headed in the right direction in terms of, like, kind of calming the different populace that are upset from the vampiric reconquering there that we had to go through. Blade shield, deadly onslaughts. And let's finish up inspirational leader. Yeah, let's put a point lightning strike. Wow, that was a huge victory for us there, like absolutely clutch victory. Okay. Post available. We'll take a look at that outpost on the next one. Okay. Well, dang, man, it was absolutely critical that we won. Well, it wasn't absolutely critical that we won. It would have set us back a little. But it was a cool win, and sometimes you get those. I wasn't certain whether we'd win that because I wasn't concerned about how well we'd perform. It was really just a numbers game, and since we didn't have an engineer in that army, I was worried that we were going to run out of ammunition. And you can see why engineers become so important. They not only add ammunition to your troops as like a skill point that they get, but they also, can give you the refill ability, which can be used up to 5 times once you go through the proper upgrades, which adds a considerable amount of capability to a dwarf army because the dwarf armies depend on that range for their killing power. So it would really behoove me to get engineers into those armies, and if I cannot recruit any more engineers at the moment, then we need to get the right buildings in place to do so, because the engineers would help a great deal at the moment. A great deal. Alright, so again, I'm just gonna pour my money into my provinces. Alright, we got another building here, the Sentinels. That's gonna be another special building that we're gonna get to complete. And then let's see, Arkhan. Okay, so we're recruiting against Arkhan there, or sorry, replenishing. We're replenishing this army as well. I actually think we might replenish faster if we headed into unfriendly territory, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of chill for the moment because I feel like we're in a good position. We finished all that research here. I'm gonna finish this one too. I've been pouring research, and boy, it's paying off. We are making a tremendous amount of money. And really possess a huge capability to wage war against our enemies as a result. So the investment in our income has paid off in the sense that it's making us very dangerous and very powerful. Don't ever underestimate the potential that basically infinite money brings to a war situation. What do they say? Infinite money is the sinews of war. I think that's the quote I was always putting up on the old Total War Rome game, and it is an accurate quote. As, like I said, one can imagine what that does. All right. I think I am just about done for this episode. I'm gonna take this trade agreement. Only makes sense. Further add to our stupendous wealth. Oh yeah, I definitely need to get another army in the works. Tomb Kings, yeah, they paid a dear price. It looks like they do have more armies, and the Tomb Kings should be able to put their armies back together pretty quickly. I mean, that's one of the things the Tomb Kings can do because they don't pay upkeep or recruitment costs for their armies. They do have to have the right buildings in place, though, to be able to recruit certain numbers of units. So that would be the potential downfall for them, is if I hurt their recruiting capability really bad in those initial strikes. And we may have, because we took some pretty good sized settlements. So it just kind of depends on what we took from them. We do need the ability to recruit more engineers. I'm going to build that, and then I'm going to also build this building here to keep chunking out oath gold. We can't have too much oath gold at the moment. Lord's not moved. How much further? We really move about the same distance regardless.
Summon me if you dare.
Alright, so I'm going to keep moving those armies north towards the fight with Arkhan. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it here for this one. Hope you all enjoyed the episode. So it was definitely a success. We are into the Howling River Valley. And like I said, we've put our allies in a good position. We put ourselves in a good position. We put Arkhan in a very poor position. But that's fine. That's where we want to put him. And if we can defeat Arkhan and kind of make a path, I can get in here and start fighting the Sylvanian vampires, which would help further our goals. And honestly, we need to go fight the Barrow Legion, but now I don't really see the Barrow Legion. I had seen them over here, but it looks like that the Wood Elves fought back against them. That's good news for me, because like I said, in that ultimate victory condition, yeah, here's the Barrow Legion there. So they've got a couple of settlements. If the Empire and the Wood Elves can fight them back, that would again bring me closer to victory. Yeah, the Barrow Legion has definitely gotten into it with the Empire. So, in any case, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you all soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 3.